My name is Selena Voss. For a long time, I believed silence kept the peace, but sometimes silence just makes you invisible. When people looked at me, they saw perfection, a successful woman in her early 30s, a penthouse overlooking the Hudson, a fiancé who seemed devoted. "You're living the dream, Selena," my friends would say, and I'd smile, because lies are easier to maintain when everyone believes them. Liam Carter, that was his name, my fiancé, my supposed partner, the man who taught me how betrayal tastes when mixed with charm. We met 5 years ago at a corporate charity event. He was magnetic, sharp suit, disarming smile, a voice that could make you forget logic. He looked at me like I was the only person in the room, and I foolishly wanted to believe it. The first few months felt like a movie. Roses on my desk, midnight walks, promises whispered under city lights. He spoke of forever, and I, a woman who had built walls all her life, finally let someone in. But love has a strange way of hiding the cracks until it's too late. It started subtly, comments about my clothes, then about my colleagues, then about my tone. "I just want you to be your best, Selena," he'd say. But what he meant was, "I want you to be what I want." I began shrinking to fit into his comfort zone. Friends drifted away, my laughter faded. Even my career, once the center of my life, became something I needed his approval for. And I told myself it was love, until that night, a Thursday. He came home late, the smell of perfume clinging to his suit, not mine. I asked casually, "Busy day?" He smiled, "Client meeting. You know how these things go." But I knew something didn't fit. I had seen that scent before on my best friend Eva Lane. The next day, I opened his laptop. His password hadn't changed. Arrogance always blinds men like him. What I saw made my breath stop. Photos. Messages, receipts, trips they took together when he said he was at conferences, and worse, financial documents showing company funds moved under my name. I was a ghost, standing in the ruins of the life I built. That night, I walked to the balcony. Rain was falling hard, washing the city below into streaks of gold and black. My reflection in the glass didn't look like me anymore. Hollow eyes, trembling lips, a woman halfway between fury and despair. I wanted to scream. I wanted to break every fragile thing around me, but I didn't, because right there, as the thunder cracked, I made a promise to myself. Revenge is a slow art. You don't rush it. You study it. You craft it. So I played the part of the obedient fiancé, smiled at his jokes, wore the dresses he liked, cooked his favorite meals. Every moment with him was an act, a scene in the performance of his downfall. Eva still visited, often, guilt shining through her eyes, masked by fake laughter. She'd glance at Liam when she thought I wasn't looking. I'd pour her wine, pretend I didn't notice the spark that danced between them. Inside, I memorized every move. Meanwhile, I started building connections quietly. I met with Derek Hale, an investigative journalist who specialized in white-collar crime. I told him enough to make him interested, not enough to make him suspicious. Together, we began collecting evidence, every illegal transfer, every manipulated report. Weeks turned into months. Liam's arrogance grew with every lie. He was about to launch a new startup, his legacy project. He used my contacts, my ideas, my name. He had no idea he was building the stage for his own collapse. The charity gala, his masterpiece, was coming up. That's where I'd strike. I orchestrated everything. Invitations to key investors and reporters, including Derek. A live stream set up for transparency. Presentation slides prepared by Liam and Selena. He believed I was supporting him. In truth, I was writing his ending. The night arrived. The ballroom shimmered in gold and white. Music played softly as the city's elite filled the space. I wore a deep red gown, bold, elegant, unmissable. When Liam walked on stage, confidence dripping from his smile, he introduced me as the woman behind my success. For once, he was telling the truth. When it was my turn to speak, I took the mic. My pulse raced, but my voice was steady. "Tonight," I said, "isn't just about ambition. It's about truth, and truth always comes with a price. The first slide clicked onto the screen projected across the grand hall. Liam's transactions, fake accounts, offshore transfers, then photos him and Eva laughing, kissing in the very office where we built our company. The crowd gasped, cameras flashed, Liam's face drained of color. He lunged toward me, whispering furiously, "What have you done, Selena?" I leaned closer and smiled. "I told the truth, you should try it sometime." Security moved in. Eva froze near the exit, her composure crumbling. Derek's camera light blinked, capturing every second. As they escorted Liam away, I turned to the audience. Reputation is built on trust. Once broken, it's never rebuilt the same. Applause erupted, hesitant at first, then thunderous. It wasn't for revenge, it was for courage. After the gala, my life became a whirlwind of chaos and clarity. Investigations launched. Liam and Eva's names flooded headlines. I gave a single interview not for fame, but closure. I didn't expose him out of hate, I said. I exposed him because silence protects the wrong people. 6 months later, I opened my own firm, Voss Communications, a company built on ethics, transparency, and female empowerment. Within a year, we became one of the fastest growing PR agencies in New York. Sometimes at night, I'd drive past the old apartment we once shared. The lights were off, the silence comforting. I didn't feel anger anymore, just a strange, soft gratitude. Because if Liam hadn't broken me, I might never have rebuilt myself. Eva wrote me from prison once. Her letter said, "You won, Selena, but at what cost?" I folded the letter, smiled sadly, and whispered, "At the cost of becoming free." Now, when people meet me, they see a confident woman. They don't see the war I fought in silence. But I remember the trembling nights, the storm outside, the fire in my chest that refused to die. And I tell them revenge isn't destruction, it's reclamation. It's taking back what someone tried to erase. Because I'm not a victim of betrayal anymore. I am the consequence of it. And that, my friend, is the real price of silence.